position. Number one, blunt trauma to your spine. What's an example of trauma?
Car accident.
Car accidents, injuries, falls. You guys got it. Also, day-to-day things. What are some day-to-day stresses on our spine? Sitting too long, standing too long, lifting heavy objects the wrong way, bad posture. All of these things through your life can cause your spine to shift out of alignment. The problem is that when your spine shifts out of alignment, God's power is being interfered with. What power? The power to heal, the power to operate the body, the power to keep a state known as homeostasis, the power to adapt to your environment. We want to make sure that 100% of that God power called life, or science gives it a different name, they call it innate intelligence. The word innate meaning inborn. Intelligence meaning not man. Not man's intelligence, but God intelligence. That what they're telling you is that there's an intelligence that's in you that's far superior than any man-made intelligence that can operate and heal this body like no one else can. But that power can be interfered with, and if we interfere with the way that power flows from the brain to the body doesn't work. So we need our spine to be, again, what's that key word? Alignment. You guys got it. Now let me explain to you what happened with my dad. In addition to the physical stresses that can cause your spine to misalign, stress can do it in your life. Because when you're under stress, whether you're thinking a lot or worried or fearful, what happens to your muscles when you're under stress? Do they get relaxed or tight? When they get tight, they pull your spine out of place. And out of all the bones in the spine, everyone will listen up to this one, there's one bone that's the most important. And that one bone is called C1. C1 is the first bone in your neck. The reason why it's the most important is this is the only bone that when it moves out of position, it literally chokes on the main spinal cord where everything is coming through. So if you're choking the main spinal cord and life from the brain flowing to the body is now being interfered with going everywhere, what kind of problem can that cause? Every problem. So I'm going to explain to you what happened with my dad. I'm going to make some references to this chart here because the C1 bone protects an area of the spinal cord called your brainstem. Have you guys heard that word before, brainstem? You know it's the most important part of your entire body? That brainstem controls every one of your vital functions like blood pressure and heart rate and blood sugar and cholesterol and digestion and hormone function and thyroid and balance and all these things. So let me explain to you what happened with my dad. He went through a lot of stressful experiences. When he went through those stressful experiences, the bone, the first bone in his neck, the most important bone, got shifted out of alignment. Started to cause a blockage on the brainstem. So the brainstem can no longer do what it was supposed to do. So the first thing that my dad experienced, the first alarm was high blood pressure. Why? Because the brainstem regulates high blood pressure, but if there's a blockage on it, the blood pressure is going to be dysregulated. So he went to the doctor, and instead of finding the root cause, they gave him a beta blocker for the blood pressure. They left the blockage there. But the brainstem also controls your blood sugar. So next year, he got diabetes. Went back to the doctor, they gave him metformin for the diabetes. They never corrected the cause, so the cause is still there. The blockage is still on the brainstem. So the next year, he developed high cholesterol. You know people like this? On one drug for blood pressure, next year they take something else, next year they take something else. If you're going to a doctor and every time you go you need a new drug, does that mean you're getting healthier or sicker? Sicker. So they're going to the doctor and getting sicker. That's what happened to my dad. But he didn't know, and he trusted doctors because he was taught to put his faith in a doctor instead of in God. And he didn't know how the body was created to heal. And so the blockage is still here. Why? Because that one bone is out of alignment. Remember the key word being alignment? C1 is the most important bone. That's why I point here. It's behind the ear. But when that one bone is out of alignment, which it was in my dad's case, he continued to develop problems. The next problem he got is stomach ulcers. Why? Because the brainstem controls how much acid your stomach makes. Well, then they gave him Nexium for that.